All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome, new viewers, to some more Stormworks Build and Rescue. Let's see. Today, we're going to do a couple things. We're going to go over the bus, and then I'm going to continue on our build. So yeah, I had a lot of fun making this thing. I got distracted. So we're going to make two versions of this bus. This one here is the holds the people, and then we're going to make another version which is going to be a little bit taller, which is just I'm going to convert it to a motorhome basically, right? We'll have a kitchen in here, bathroom, and maybe a couple of beds, 3 or 4 beds, something like that. So yeah, this is it. So I'll just go over it real quickly. Um, let's see. I'll put the solar panels on. Right, it's got the medium engine. Still haven't fully dialed in the medium engine. The issue I'm having is just with the clutch. The medium engine, anyways, has issues where it stops. So you're constantly having to start it up again, but that's all right. It's just a torque thing. I added this fancy sign, the charter sign. The words are a little off center. I'll fix that. I added these lights as well to it. Yeah, and then some doors, just, some pretend compartments underneath. This forward compartment, I ended up adding 3 more batteries. So it has 6 medium batteries. So now it has plenty of power grid. Yeah, this is the bus. It's got plenty of fuel, way too much fuel. I won't say way too much, but it's good. Here, let me put the park brake on. Where are we here? Park brake. Yeah, and then so what I did is I made one control so it runs on 2 screens. And then, of course, I added 2 individual screens, which eventually I'll upgrade this so it's like that. Yeah. So these indicator lights are for the airlock. When we close the door, right? And then when we turn the airlock on, where is it here? This one goes yellow. Now I have the indicator light because if I try and open up this door, the door will open and then the bus will explode. So yeah, I just added some basic equipment to it. Let's see, what else do we have here? Cameras. This is the inside camera. This is a reverse camera. Let's see, when you put the bus in reverse, I've got white lights on there. Got brake lights. We put it into idle. Turn on systems. We'll turn on the interior lights. Right, and it'll sit here. It'll idle basically forever. The one thing I really like about this, the engines, they must have tweaked them a little bit, thankfully, because they don't, yeah, it'll just idle for days and days and days. So yeah, it's seat 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's see, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, it's seat 16, which is plenty. Right, when we open the door, all the doors, they're all connected together. Maybe what I'll do is I'll set these up on individual buttons eventually, so that way I can open them up individually. I'll have to build a microcontroller for that. Yeah, and then other than that, let's see, we have turn our sign on, and then the 3 indicator lights light up with the sign that says charter, and I put hazard lights on the bus. They're probably a bit slow, so we'll have to speed those. Maybe I'll speed those up. Yeah. Put hazard lights on there, and then of course there's the headlights. What else did I put in there? The magnets to keep it down. All the usual suspects. Yeah. So this bus here is just basically, As you saw in my rescue video, I'm not able to approach the hospital over, let's see, where is it? I'm not able to approach this hospital and the beginner Coast Guard outpost. I don't know why. But anytime I get close to this area of the map, the game just freezes. I can sail here along the coast and be fine. But anytime I get close to here, the game just, it freezes. So, yeah, so that's why I had to build the bus. So that way I can dock, unload the passengers, and get them in there and transport them. So yeah, so now I was just basically getting distracted with that. What else did I do? I started to build an LNG ship. I converted, let's see here, we don't want to load the bus in the water. This here is just mostly a test. But I'm going to try and make an LNG ship because if you go to the Arctic, you can sell your gas in the Arctic. I don't know if you can sell it or if you, I know you can buy it. I don't think you can sell it, but you can buy it liquid gas. So yeah. But today we are going to be working on the subcarrier. Continuing on where we left off, which was pretty bare bones. The first thing I want to take care of is changing the frequency of the radio. And we're going to actually change it to channel 6. Let's see, so we'll go inside the controller. Right now it's set to channel 1. We're going to set this to channel 6. Now the reason why I'm changing it is because I want to test when I hold the radio and I turn it on channel 1, it automatically starts broadcasting. Yeah, there we go. So let's see. 6. There we go. Now I can turn the magnets on and off. They don't automatically come on. So that is one thing. Oh yeah, this ship is so cool. That is one thing I will mention. So there's 9 channels on the remote control. You'll have to leave one of those channels blank just for the broadcasting of the remote control. Because if you set up, in this case, I was broadcasting on channel 1 and I had these magnets set to channel 1. So every time you turn on the remote control, the magnets turn on. But then when I switch to, another channel, or not another channel, I don't know what I was going to say there. When I turn the remote off, maybe the magnets turn off. Yeah, anyways, it's interacting with the magnets in a way that I don't want it to. Yeah, so I had to change that. So, whatever I'm trying to say. It's early in the morning. All right, we're just going to do that. And do this. There we go. Just so they look connected. This middle section might be a little difficult. I might have to move this. Like I might move this forward. Maybe add another set of connectors here so there's 4 instead of 3. Just because I'm a little worried that with how close that is, if I come up out of the water, I might end up bumping into that. But yeah, so because this whole thing is remote, the other thing I really need to do is I need to add some magnets to the rear. Actually, I could probably just add them right on here. Let's see. Make them black. So I'll have to test those magnets. I know that you can sort of no clip with that a little bit. But I just don't know. Right now I'm worried about the alignment of this. I know somebody had mentioned that I'm going to be close here. So I want to make sure that I don't get too close. All right, so let's see. Let's do two things. Let's temporarily hook up the magnets. All right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a button. Let's see. We're going to add a button to this side. I'll temporarily add a button down here, and this is going to turn on the magnets. All right. So we'll spawn that, and then I'll take it away just so we have the autosave. Okay, and we have to wait for better weather before we can test this thing, because the sea is a-rocking. Oh, let's see here. Yeah, I'll have to let the storm blow through. Let's see how that is. Oh yeah, that's good. Hopefully. Not too wavy. Yeah, should be okay for testing. So let's launch this. All right, and then what I'm going to do is, if I can reach, oh, I can't reach. We'll turn on the magnets. Just like that. All right, and then we'll almost like to be, I'm just going to go on the shore for this part. Let's see if I can remember the controls here. They don't pop up when you're using the remote, unfortunately. So one, let's see. All right, then we press 2, is it? Yeah. Now the great thing about the remote, I can be inside the sub while we're doing this. But what I want to check is to see if those magnets are going to connect us to the back of the boat, and if that's going to have any effect on this. Because that's what I'll do. I'll surface, I'll sail into the boat, right? If that alignment is good on the magnets. I almost wish I could move a little bit while I'm, oh no! Oh, that's cool. All right, so I already foresee an alignment issue. Oh, you know why? There we go. I wasn't all the way out. All right, so that could work, but I don't necessarily need it. Oh, let's get that all the way up. Yeah, there we go. See, it's a little bit sluggish. I might end up adding a third rail to the base. But essentially, that's it. And of course, again, when we're launching and doing all that, yeah, you see it's stopping here. Just a little sluggish there. I mean, obviously, it's a lot of weight, right? Like we're picking up a massive submarine. Wow. I'm happy. The fact that I was able to do that with a remote is so cool. So cool. All right. Now the next thing I need to do is I tested this out. I just went for a quick sail, and I'm impressed with that. I like that. Let's just see if the I've got to balance the ship still a little bit. I think it's just a little off center. That's one part, and then the other thing I'm getting distracted here is I need to put connectors on the bottom of the submarine. There's magnets on the bottom of the submarine. I debated whether I wanted to use the magnets from the sub or if I wanted it to sit on these kind of like rail thingies. I guess the issue I'm having is the movement. So that's sitting not too bad actually. All right. Right, so I added the winches so I could tie down the sub. But when I stretch a rope out from the winch to the sub, it causes the ship to list. Why, I don't know. So the other option was to add these magnets to the bottom. So I could magnet to the bottom of the sub. But the magnets keep turning on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off. I don't know why. So, yeah. Let's see here. Let's see if I can change this back. So they were no good. Basically, they were no good, and the submarine continues to slide all over the deck. The other option, option C, I could try and build, I could do something like this. So that way the sub doesn't slide from left to right. Now the only issue with this is it'll start to clip a little bit. It will move around and it'll start to clip through those blocks. And then when I connect to it and try and lift it up, crazy things happen to it. Crazy things. All right, so we don't need erase these things too. Like flying to the moon type strangeness. So I'm just not entirely sure at this point the best way to secure the sub. Yeah, because otherwise I'll have to go inside, which is no big deal. Find the button for the magnets, wherever that is. of mags. I think that might work. I'll show you what I mean about the listing. Okay, so right now the ship, it's good, right? We're not listing. The ship is okay. I'm going to grab this rope. Okay, now you see what the ship is doing? You hear the magnets? All right, I haven't done anything. All I've done is connect the rope. And look at how badly the ship is listing. Right, I'll connect another rope. Right, see what it's doing? So my concern is that if I'm deep in the ocean, I mean, it's kind of ridiculous to be fair, if I could be fair to Stormworks, it's kind of ridiculous. So there, I add one rope, and we're almost back to neutral, I guess you could say. But you hear that? You hear the magnets bouncing around? So, yeah. Oh, I see. They're probably bouncing around because of that there in the front. Right, so I thought of two things. Yeah, let's see. There's a few. There's a couple of things, more than two, that I guess that could still be done here. Let's see if I get rid of this. I guess at this point in time, the ideal thing would be connectors. Now, I'd like to have connectors on pivots that could come up and connect to the side. But like I say, when I don't like pivots, things that move, because you'll see this won't stay where it is. It'll slide down and rest. And when you're in the ocean and you really start moving around with the waves, it becomes very problematic when you have lots of moving things, cranes and stuff. Even though they may be locked, quote unquote, or they have no electricity, so they don't move, they're still going to move up and down. So it's really important just to kind of take note of those things. And yeah, there's not much we can do about it. Like I said, there's not much we can do about it. So, like even these, for example, they'll move up and down. They're not supposed to, but they'll move up and down, and these will become destroyed, and they can even destroy the surface of the ship. So yeah, I mean, yeah, the alignment is good in that, but I guess the only other I could add some connectors. Just wondering, I could get rid of all these magnets on the bottom of the sub. Or I could just add connectors like this. Right to the underside of the sub here. Right, so that's kind of the next thing. How do we secure this up? It's important for the alignment of this that it stays where it is. But like I say, if we build Oh, you know, I could always try using. I could try using these. I hadn't thought about that. I could just try using these regular connectors actually. Test their strength. I'm trying not to add too much weight to the sub as it is because we're pretty well maxed out. Now those. Let's see here. Now that should work. Yeah, now with the ropes in the past, if you just used them through the winch, there were no issues. It didn't affect the ship at all. So I'm not too sure what. Maybe one of the updates that has obviously changed in one of the updates. All right, so we're gonna grab the remote control here. And what does this do? Nothing. All right, cool. I got a button here. This will detach the connectors. And I think I just need to release these ones here, actually. All right, let's try that. So there's still several hours left to go on this. In this build here, probably another 3 or 4 hours at least before we'll be ready to sail. Putting in the screens will take a few hours. And then like this kind of stuff, the tweaking, right? Checking out the equipment. Okay, that worked. Connected, true. So if I get out our fancy remote and I turn the magnets on, let's see, was it 4 is down? All right, let's see. Yes. All right. Ooh, that's draining fast. Now you see they disconnected and then they connected. All right, but it worked. It was enough. It was enough to actually. Oh, now why? Connected false. All right, what's going on there? hope it doesn't work one way. That wouldn't make any sense. What? It only connects to the connectors once? Release connection false. Oh, maybe I have to move it. All right, so that's on, that's on. Let's see. Magnets are on. No. How does that make any sense? Oh, release connector false. Okay. So maybe I have to turn that button off. Yes. Yes, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Cool. And that actually does a really good job. That's better than the magnets. Awesome. Okay. Learning something new. Learning something new. Cool. Well, I like that. Cool. That'll work just fine. Just fine, actually. And that's clear. The button's clear. Okay. So now the next order of business will be trying to figure these out again. Right. As I said, they will come into contact. So probably what I'll have to do is this here. And let's see. See if that'll work or if that's too. Right, and all this. Oh, that's going to come in contact with that. Cool. That's all right. The purpose of this is just to give us room for this. And that's, like I say, that's just because they will move up and down. They will move up and down. Right, so I just want to make sure I have the clearance. Oh, that's going to bump into here too. I don't want this chamber to flood. I guess I could shift all this over by one. Make sure I'm still. Yeah, we're still good there. Okay, cool. And then I can do this here. Yeah, cool. All right, and then that, I can just do this. All right, water, obviously, if it gets, the waves will get high. They'll crash over here. And so hopefully we shouldn't cause an oil spill with this here. And then I'll just take a regular, just a slow pump. This is just in case they fill up with water, which they likely will. Then I can empty them. Right, because when we're traveling, we're just traveling normally. Um, yeah, and this won't flood because it's secure. Yeah, there we go. Now, if this thing wants to move, it's gonna move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, let's see if we can count this here. 10, 11. It's gonna move 11 from where it is. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're 12 to the deck. Okay, good. So it can move all the way down. Oh, and then there's that. So maybe I'll make this a bit deeper, actually. I always like hesitate to. We're not going to sink if it fills up, that's for sure. This ship has plenty of displacement left in it. Oops. Yeah, we'll just do that. We'll just do that there. Cool, and then we'll take that. Who knows where we'll pop up here? Let's see. Oh, I'm inside the wall. Whoops. So what if we come up like here? Oh yeah, perfect. That'll work. Bit of a mess for now. Like I say, I've got a lot of unfinished projects. I like to build as much as I can, and as you can tell, I really like to build stuff. So, and then what I'll do is I'll refine it, and then refine it, and then refine it. That's just part of the whole process. Okay, so that's that. We'll have to have eventually a touch screen in there that'll allow us to empty that if we need to. And then the last thing will be I need to consider how to get the uranium off the ship. Off the ship. So as I said, you can't store the uranium, right? So we have two options. Well, we have more than two options, but we have a couple of options. I'm thinking option number one. Instead of trying to sail this beast all the way to the Arctic, we should fly there. Now I can't I can't land a plane. I have a plane. I haven't tested it. I'll have to spend some hours learning how to fly in this game. I can fly the helicopter, no problem, but I haven't spent a whole lot of time with the airplane. It's got parachutes on it, so yeah, maybe I'll add magnets to it or something just to help me land. All right, so having said that, what I'd like to do let's see here. So we need to transfer it from these containers to another container. I feel like if that container can slide to the rear of the ship and then come up, then what we can do is we can take a helicopter or a whatever. I can fly over here. Like obviously all this has to be done when the weather is good, right? And we won't be able to do this here. We'll have to do this at Donk Island because Donk Island has the airport, which is close to the docks. And what'll happen is we'll have to fly over here with a helicopter that'll convert to have a hopper on it, and then we'll have to unload these hoppers into the helicopter hopper. So that's the other part of this whole supply chain. Is the helicopter it'll have to be like a removable bin, and then it's just so much transferring, right? From the ship to the helicopter, from the helicopter to the plane, from the plane back to the helicopter. It's a lot of work. It's either that or I try and use my original plan. See, I split the fuel tank into two because I wanted to have this second bin here for cleaning up the oil spill. But we've got so much room on board the ship. Um, yeah, basically what I need to do is I need to go out there to where the oil spill is, and I need to suck up all the oil. Then I just need to test the volume to see how much is actually out there. Just so I know roughly how big of a compartment I need to build on this ship to store the oil. You know, approximately, right? Is it 100,000 liters? Is it 200,000 liters? Is it only 10,000 liters, which it could be, which would be nice. Then I wouldn't need something big, right? I just need a small compartment just to clean up the ocean, right? Now, like I say, I don't know if the oil spill is from the ballasts or if it's from disturbing the uranium. It could just be a cause and effect of disturbing the uranium. Maybe, I don't know. I know that I've tried. Well, you saw that if you've watched the previous videos where I opened the containers underwater and then the whole ocean got contaminated with oil. So, but that's essentially what this is going to be, an all-in-one ship, right? It'll have to be able to clean up any of the spills that we make from the sub. Now, if I can come just right back up to the surface, and that, like I say, shouldn't be that big. So yeah, so those are still a few things that need to be worked out. Oops. So depending on, here, we'll save this. Depending on the size of the spill, that's going to give me more room, right? It's going to tell me how much more I can displace. Let's see if I can describe what I'm talking about. So I will get rid of this. I know here because that's where the right, and I'm going to get this thing to spawn seawater. And then what I also want to do is I want to put a physics spawner in there, a physics flutter. That's really important. Physics flutter is really important with these custom tanks. Right, that's also what I wanted to put inside of the... With the physics flutter, I haven't tested... I should do a test with the submarine. Because I noticed that I had the physics flutter inside the trucks, and it just seemed like, here, I'll just stick it in there. It just seemed like it helped. So we'll just stick it in here and we'll test it. I know the submarine is just, it's a mess. It is a mess. There's no denying that. No denying the mess. All right. So what the physics flutter does, it floods the enclosed volume with physics for optimization. It's actually really good. So that's what I'm thinking. If you're using custom tanks and they're not working properly, chances are you put the physics flutter in there, it'll stabilize the fluid levels, it'll stabilize the gas. So you can pump in fluid, pump out fluid, and you're not going to have too many issues. I'm thinking. All right, so here we'll launch this, and I'll show you how low in the water it sits with full fuel. See, not bad, not bad. Lower, significantly lower, but not so low that we're right on the water, right? We're actually still out of the water by quite a bit, which is cool. And then we'll just see how much fuel is in here. $600,000 liters of fuel, which is impressive. Absolutely impressive. So that's enough fuel for this ship to be able to sail all the way to the Arctic as is. And then there, I can spawn a helicopter, come over here, pick up the uranium, and fly the uranium over to where it needs to go, right? But what I don't know is if that leaves us any room, let's say, to clean up the oil, right? Because what we'll need, that's just a corridor. What I'll need is some additional space. Because there we're at the bottom of the ocean there. We need some additional space. So where is our center of gravity? Basically right here where the engines are. I want this to be internal. Well, I suppose what I can do is we can use this. Let's see, we can go to there maybe. This might be a little big. And then let's do, let's see, let's get a liquid meter in there. going to be empty. Let's get a physics spawner. A physics flutter. And let's get a fluid spawner. We'll do that, and then we're going to fill this with seawater. All right, and then we'll need a dial. Oops. And we'll just put this up here temporarily on the deck. Let's see. I climb up here. So we'll put it here temporarily. Oh, fluid capacity. No, we want the fluid level, I guess. Just see how big this compartment is that we created. It's only 30,000. Only 30,000. How big is that? Let's see. $24. So that would be 26. All right, so we'll have to do something similar here, likely. Like that. That's not bad. I should be able to carry the extra weight of these two compartments on top of what I've got, right? And I mean, I can always make the fuel tank a little bit smaller. I don't need 600,000 liters of fuel. I don't even know if I can afford 600,000 liters of fuel right now. That'll be the other thing. It's going to take, before we can even do this, I'm going to need to get some more money. As you can see, we're getting really critically low on cash. So let's see, we'll put the physics flutter in here. We'll get a, fluid spawner, and then we need the liquid meter. I'll get this to seawater. All right, we'll see how that holds up. Yeah, it still sits quite reasonable. I don't mind if it's a little low in the front versus the back. That's pretty good. So we can carry about 50,000 liters of oil if we need to out of the sea. That's, what is that, 28,000? Yeah, almost 60,000. 56? 56. I can't see there being more than that. I mean, at this point, I don't really know, but I can't see there being more than that. And there usually it scoops up pretty fast. So let's, oops. Okay, so the other thing we need to do now is we need the environment station. So if we go to oil, we need these centrifugal separators. And I think just for some fun, let's see, I was talking about building a room here. All right, and we'll build controls in here for the. Okay. And then on top of that, we can have these, a couple of these guys. Let's see how they work first. So one of these is dense fluid out, that'll be water. Fluid out, that'll be oil. And then we need the RPS in there, and then this will be fluid in, which is going to be the oil that we're sucking out of the water. Okay. So we can run this off the ship. All right, we're just cutting through the hallway. That's no big deal. This might be a big deal with the sub. So let's carve this out here. It will come right into there. All right, and then what we'll need is a valve. See if that works. All right, let's see here, let's see. So this will come into here maybe. I might have to come all the way up to there. All right. Now we need the centrifuge. Let's see it. Can we get away with that? All right, that was in alignment. There we go. And then this is our fluid in and fluid in. So I mean, there's many ways to do. I can just have a fluid port on the ship here in the water. Which is probably what we're gonna do. Actually, let's see here. How big is that? A couple of these. 1, 2, 3, 4 by 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just like that. That's all you need. And then let's see, this one will come down through here. Yeah, we can do that for both of them. Okay, we'll have to connect them up separately. So that'll come down there. Oh, once again, we're cutting through the hallway. That's all right. Just like that. All right, so that's done on that side. That's done on that side. Okay, now we'll connect them together. Let's see, we're gonna come out. All right. Now we have dense fluid. Again, this will be water. So we can literally just let that spill right over the edge of the ship. Okay, those come up on the same side. So let's see. If we do this. We'll add maybe one here. Right, I'll have to go through and add some more blocks. Just kind of add to the, make it look reasonable so it's not all just floating in midair. Coffee's going cold. All right, and then the last thing we need to do now is connect the oil to the tanks. So where are the tanks? Let's see, we got, whoops, it likes to stop and pause. One there and one there in the front and in the back. So probably the best thing to do is to come in. Yeah, we can come in right there. So we'll make this black because this will also be oil. That's right, we're in the hallway. Awesome. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this here. Oh, we can come all the way down. Cool. Just like that. All right. That takes care of that. So in theory, when I open the valve, it'll turn these things on, and they should automatically start sucking oil out of the water. In theory. Like I say, this will all be tested. This will all be tested eventually. Yeah, and that's that. Awesome. Awesome. All right, well, that's going to do it for today's video. Yeah, we put in the environmental station. Next will be figuring out how to get the uranium off the ship. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. Thank you, new subscribers. Also, you guys are awesome. And we will see you in the next one.